Well, my guest is actor Aaron Eckhart. You've seen him in the movies In the Company of Men, Aaron Brockovich, Any Given Sunday, Nurse Betty, and Thank You for Smoking. His latest movie is Meet Bill. Well, welcome back to St. Louis.
Thank you very much.
Now, the movie was shot here in St. Louis. Did our town treat you well?
Beautifully. Loved all the locations. The people were wonderful. I had never been to the Midwest, and we shot a couple summers ago, so it was really hot here, but it was wonderful. I'm glad to be back.
Well, when our members of our audience see the movie, they'll recognize the Mary Institute Country Day High School, Washington University, some of the local sites where you filmed. But we should point out that the movie is actually set in Minnesota, right? Figure that one out.
Minnesota looks a lot like St. Louis in this movie. We filmed, I was just driving in, we filmed at buildings that looked right over the ballpark. Mm-hmm. It was just a wonderful, wonderful time here. On my off time, I played tennis, I went horseback riding, went to Six Flags. You know, it's a great town.
Now, your character, Bill, is having a rough time in this movie. Tell us what's happening with Bill.
Bill is at a point in his life where he's frustrated with his home life, his work life. He works for his father-in-law. His wife is cheating on him with a newscaster, I might add. Which doesn't exist in real life, I'm sure.
Never.
So he reluctantly takes on he starts mentoring a 14-year-old kid who's this cool kid, and the kid whips him back into shape.
Now, you're also an executive producer on this movie?
I'm a producer on it. I don't want to take anything away from the real producers because I didn't do much work on it. But I think when I get involved in terms of casting that they throw me a bone and let me be a producer. But I didn't call anybody, and I had nothing to do with the making of the film. But except I really enjoyed making it.
Now, might that take your career in a different direction? Do you have a desire to be more of a player behind the scenes to get projects made, or not?
I don't know. You know, I think that I love acting. I have a lot of, kind of goals that I want to make as an actor. But as a producer, you have to call people and make sure they show up on time and deal with all. Whenever I see a producer on a movie set, his head is either in his hands, or he's on his BlackBerry, going like this. I never see that they're having very much fun. So I would like to direct one day a movie. I'd like to direct actors. I love acting. I love actors. I love performances and emotion. But I don't know that I could actually tell a story. Because filmmakers, really, the most important thing about film is telling a story. And when you do that well, then it makes up for either performance or cinematography, lighting, whatever it is. And I think we did a good job in this movie.
Now, speaking of movie makers and actors and actresses, you've worked with some of the biggest names in Hollywood during your career. Let's name drop and just give me a quick response here. Julia Roberts, who you worked with in Aaron Brockovich.
Warm, friendly, smart, beautiful.
Oliver Stone, your director in Any Given Sunday.
Totally committed, 100%, Oliver.
And how does he work with actors?
Oliver is intense. Oliver's all over the place at all times. He's completely intense, but loves performance and loves to talk to actors and chew them up and.
Jack Nicholson, who you worked with in The Pledge.
The best guy in the world. Just loved to watch him work. Asked him questions all the time. How do you do it? What did you think? What were you thinking in this scene? There was one time in The Pledge where Jack goes up and he looks at a hole or a bullet in the wall, and I said, Jack, what were you thinking when you did that? He goes to me. He goes, I was counting the paint drops on the wall. You know what I mean? Or he says, I was looking at the license plate. Just great actors, great moments.
Well, Meet Bill premieres on Friday.
This Friday in St. Louis and Minneapolis. I think St. Louis is getting the first crack at it because we filmed it here.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.